Today, I want to talk to you about the influence of scammers, the emotional, psychological, or behavioral controls by someone seeking power. Welcome. I'm Dr. Darina Shine, and I am so grateful that you're here with me today on this podcast. Today, I want to talk about scammers. Now, I'm talking about the emotional scammers, the scammers that can take what you have done, manipulate it, and use it against you because they know you care. They know that you feel a certain way about them, or a manipulative scammer who is trying to scam you out of financial programs and ideas that they can get your funds from you, or as a business consultant to property owners. There are people who can scam you into getting into a property, and once they're in, they go through an entire version of manipulative lies, scams, and schemes that you never would have even recognized. So, I'm going to give you some points today on how to make sure that you understand when you're being emotionally manipulated. So, urgency is the first key. When you are being asked to act before you think, you're being bombarded, quickly told that you have to make the decision right now, that is a red flag, especially for elders. Individuals who think it sounds good, you're being put into a scam that is going to manipulate your ability to make this thing happen for you. So, making sure that you take your time and tell them, I will get back to you. I had a guy call me and he was selling solar panel electricity or something. And as I'm telling him about my questions, he's like, well, according to the data and according to this and according to that, I'm like, but that's not my question. My question is, now you're selling a $28,000 system. Tell me a little bit more about that system other than just, oh, it's going to provide solar energy to you. Well, why am I paying $28,000 when the sun is doing all the work? But I digress. Going back, urgency is a red flag, definitely. Number two, emotion. They want you to feel something strong. They want you to feel fear. They want you to feel super excited. They want you to feel guilty, or whatever they need to do in order to make it easier to influence you. They want your understanding, they want your genuineness. But some can be so corrupt and aggressive until they don't even know that the aggression is causing urgency, is causing anxiety. And that is another manipulative tool that they use. Okay. And then, of course, isolation. This has always been a big situation. When you have domestic violence, is one of the biggest areas of the manipulative emotional component when dealing with isolation, because now they take the person away from their family, they take the person or a group of people away from those who really care about them. Then that way they can manipulate them however they choose. And the person or group of people who are being manipulated, they don't even know it until it's too late, when they're really ready to get out, and then they realize that they're stuck in a trap. They're stuck in a trap, in a manipulation trap. So, practical ways to protect yourself. Number one, slow down the relationship. Don't jump in it just because you're trauma bonded. Emotional relationships are very vital because the emotion is so strong until it becomes aggressive when they can't get their way. This is the connection when you have two individuals that meet with the expectation of, I'm going to have the most power. And then that's how the relationship works. Also, you want to verify identity independently. You want to go out there and you want to learn a little bit about this person, not just what this person is saying to you online, because these people can be from out of country, out of state, out of city, your local district, and they can be really acting a fool somewhere over in their territory. So you want to make sure that you verify them independently. I had an individual who wanted to rent a location. And I had to verify that they were operable to do so. And when I went to seek the information independently, I found some things out that just didn't qualify them for what they were trying to, produce. And one thing that I realized is as soon as they were told that they were not able to pursue this type of programming, that's when they went off. That's when they spazzed out. And see, it goes to show you those red flags were always there, because I would tell myself in certain circumstances, based upon the way that they were talking to me, there were certain red flags that I just couldn't pay attention to, but I was plugging the pieces of the puzzle together as it was going down. Another thing, keep financial boundaries. Don't share your financial information, and then be very careful of those who tell you every single thing about their every step of financial situations. Oh, I'm about to get a big lump sum of money, or oh, I'm about to do this, or I'm about to do that. Be very mindful of those people, because many a times people can set traps just to see someone go and try to manipulate, just so they will have a one up on the individual, or the person may not actually be getting any of that. It just may be a fallacy. Okay, keeping those financial boundaries firm. Don't tell them anything about your business. They could be telling you all that to gain your trust, so that you will eventually be able to tell them something about your own personal things. Now, talk to a trusted person around you. If you realize that this individual is telling you everything about the people around you that are not good for you because they're too in your business, be mindful of that type of separation within the relationship, because what is taking place is they want them out of the way so that they can take their place. And then you depend on them 100% fully. And then here comes the manipulation. Then before you know it, you're caught up in a web that you really cannot get yourself out of, or it takes a lot to get out of. Professionally, you want to follow procedures every single time. That protects you, that secures you. Verify things. Say if the electric company calls and says, okay, you owe an outstanding balance of $143. You say, okay, well, let me hang up from here, call and verify. Okay. If they tell you no, you have to pay it right there on that line, then just hang up, because it's really not real. Also, use multi-factor authenticity. Get 2 or 3 different ways to get into your account, so that you know that no one can scam or get into your data. And also report suspicious behavior early. That's what I did. And I was working with someone, I was working with the broker, and I told this individual specific things about the relationship between the person who was trying to become a entrepreneur in this location. And we paid attention to all the red flags. We just couldn't put them together until it finally fell through. And when it fell through, it was days before the closing, days before. So we were still authentically blessed for not being able to have to deal with the custom of negative behavior once they were in the property. One thing you got to ask yourself on any situation: why is this person trying to rush me? If it is a rush or even a slow thing, why is this person moving so slow? That's another manipulative opportunity, because it gets deeper, it goes way deeper. So I want you to think about this emotionally, financially, and professionally and personally. This can be in any aspect of a relationship. So I thank you so much for being here. I hope something here has helped you. And if it did, great. Hit the thumbs up, give it a like. If you have not gotten what you need, come back another day. I'm sure you're going to find something of significance that's going to work for you in your situation. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.